What happens when we die is a question that carries more than curiosity. It carries fear, sadness, hope, and love all at the same time. Most people do not ask it casually. They ask it because they have lost someone, because they are afraid of losing someone, or trying to understand what will happen to them one day. It is a question that touches the deepest part of being human, because death is not just an idea. It is something every person will face, and that makes it impossible to ignore forever. We can distract ourselves from it for a while, but at some point, the thought returns. It returns in hospitals, in funerals, in late-night silence, and in moments when we remember how fragile life is. The hardest part about death is that it reminds us how much we love being alive. It reminds us how much we want to stay. It reminds us how painful it is to imagine the end of our story. For many people, death feels unfair because it comes for everyone, no matter how kind, how young, how good, or how ready they may be. It does not ask permission. It does not care about plans. It arrives when it arrives, and that reality makes the question of what happens after even more emotional. People do not only want an explanation, they want comfort. They want to believe that love does not just disappear. From a scientific point of view, the body eventually shuts down. The heart stops, the breath ends. The brain no longer functions the way it once did. That explanation may be clear, but it is not always comforting. Science can describe the process, but it cannot heal the ache that comes with it. It cannot answer the part of the question that hurts the most, which is whether the person we knew, loved, and depended on is truly gone forever, or whether something of them continues in another form. That is why death is so emotionally difficult. It is not only the end of a body. It feels like the possible end of a voice, a laugh, a memory, and a presence that once made life feel safe. Some people believe death is the end, and that belief can feel painful because it suggests that consciousness simply fades away. It suggests that the thoughts, feelings, and identity that made someone who they were may vanish into silence. For people who are grieving, that idea can feel unbearable. It can make the absence feel final in a way that is hard to accept. Yet, even that belief can carry its own form of honesty. If this life is all we have, then every moment becomes even more precious. Every conversation, every hug, and every ordinary day becomes something to treasure. The sadness of death can also awaken gratitude for the time we are given before it happens. Other people believe death is not an ending, but a passage. They believe the soul continues, that love continues, and that the person who has died has not simply been erased. That belief can be a source of deep comfort, especially to people who have lost someone they cannot imagine being truly gone. It allows them to believe that separation is not permanent. It allows them to hold on to the idea that the bonds we build in life may survive the limits of the body. Whether someone believes in heaven, reincarnation, reunion, or a return to something larger than themselves, that belief often exists because human beings need hope when faced with loss. We need to believe that love is stronger than disappearance. That is why near-death experiences are so powerful to people. They often sound like glimpses of something peaceful, something beyond the ordinary world, something that feels deeply real to the person who experienced it. Some people describe light, some describe warmth, some describe floating above their body, some describe seeing loved ones or feeling calm in a way they had never felt before. Whether these experiences are neurological or spiritual is still debated, but what matters emotionally is how often they change the person who goes through them. Many come back less afraid of death. Many say they no longer see life the same way. Many feel more tenderness toward the people around them, as if the experience revealed that life is more fragile and more beautiful than they had realized. When people lose someone they love, they do not just lose the person. They lose routines, comfort, familiarity, and parts of their own identity. A parent dies, and suddenly the child feels older than they ever wanted to feel. A partner dies, and the future becomes a different shape. A friend dies, and the world feels quieter in a place that used to feel alive. Grief is not neat. It does not follow rules. It comes in waves. Sometimes it is loud, and sometimes it is silent. Sometimes it feels sharp, and sometimes it feels like numbness. But it always carries love inside it. You grieve deeply because you loved deeply. The pain of loss is proof that the bond was real. That is one of the hardest truths about death. It hurts because it mattered. And yet, in the middle of that pain, death also teaches us how to live more honestly. It strips away so much of what is fake and temporary. It makes us ask who we have been neglecting, what we have been postponing, and what we would regret if we ran out of time sooner than expected. It asks whether we are spending our lives in fear or actually living them. It asks whether we are holding on to anger that will outlive its usefulness. It asks whether we are saying the words we mean while we still have the chance. When death becomes real to us, even just as an idea, it can change the way we treat ordinary moments. Suddenly, a dinner with family matters more. A walk outside matters more. A quiet morning matters more. A simple "I love you" matters more. That is why death has always been part of art, religion, and philosophy. Human beings have never been content to treat it as only a biological event. We turn it into stories because stories help us carry pain. We turn it into rituals because rituals help us make sense of loss. We turn it into prayers because prayer gives form to hope. We turn it into philosophy because we want to understand how something so final can exist alongside our hunger for meaning. Even people who are not religious often find themselves searching for some kind of answer when death appears close. Because the question is never only, what happens to them? The deeper question is, what do I do with this love now that it has nowhere to go? Maybe that is why death feels so personal, even when it has not come for us yet. It forces us to imagine the unimaginable. It forces us to face the truth that life will not stay exactly as it is. People we love will leave. We will change. Our bodies will age. Our memories will thin. Time will keep moving, whether we are ready or not. But instead of making life meaningless, that truth can make it heartbreakingly beautiful. The fact that something ends does not make it worthless. It makes it precious. The fact that a moment will not last forever is exactly why it can matter so much while it is here. No one can fully answer what happens when we die in a way that ends the question for everyone. Some people hold on to faith. Some hold on to science. Some hold on to personal experience. Some simply live with uncertainty. But maybe the most compassionate way to face the question is not with cold certainty, but with humility. We do not have to know everything to feel everything. We do not have to solve the mystery before we can love people well. We do not have to understand death completely to understand that life is fragile and worth protecting. If death is the end, then this life is a gift beyond measure. If death is a transition, then this life is preparation for something greater. And if we do not know which is true, then perhaps the wisest response is to live with the kind of love that would make either answer meaningful. Love people while they are here. Say the things that matter. Forgive sooner. Hold on less tightly to what does not last. Do not waste the small moments because they are the ones that become the memories you carry later. One day, every person we know will be part of the same mystery. But until then, we still have time to be gentle with each other, to be present, and to live like this matters. And maybe that is the part we can hold on to when the question feels too big. We may not know exactly what happens when we die, but we do know what it means to be here. We know what it means to love someone so much that their absence hurts. We know what it means to wake up and be given another day. We know what it means to feel grief and hope at the same time. That may not be a full answer, but it is a human one. And sometimes that is the only kind of answer we can carry.